Hear where Missouri's candidates for U.S. Senate stand on issues that affect you and why one prominent candidate didn't show up to today's debate. Plus, why CPS parents are pushing to make playgrounds more accessible.
And we're live on the loop for KOMU8's Friday Night Fever. The Hickman Cupies and the Battle Spartans. KOMU8 News at 6 starts right now.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU8 News starts now.
Candidates for the U.S. Senate race in Missouri were at the Lake of the Ozarks today for a forum, but one candidate was visibly missing. Good evening, everyone. I'm Raina Katko. Thanks for joining us. Republican frontrunner Attorney General Eric Schmitt was a no-show at today's debate. KOMU8's Lacey Reeves is live at the lake to tell us what the candidates who did show up had to say. Lacey.
Only the Democrat, Libertarian, and Constitutional parties were represented here today at the debate. Trudy Bush Valentine for the Democratic side, Jonathan Dine for the Libertarians, and Paul Venable for the Constitutional Party. All of them gathered today here at these podiums where they talked about Missouri's most pressing issues. 3 press members asked the candidates for their thoughts on state issues like recreational marijuana and abortion. They also talked about national issues like college loan forgiveness and inflation. One podium was empty, with Republican Eric Schmitt declining his invitation to the forum. His campaign team emailed me yesterday saying Missourians deserve a primetime debate with the 2 major candidates on the same stage, and the Valentine hasn't agreed to that. Organizers say this is the first time a candidate has been a no-show at a forum in 20 years.
I responded or sent emails to them and made phone calls, and no one ever responded to me. We heard a member of our team here, the moderator, David Lieb, did get a text from someone in his staff. But I tried to contact the Schmitt camp and the Schmitt campaign several times over the past several months, and I've received no reply whatsoever.
The Senate candidates weren't the only ones who had a debate here today. All 3 of the Missouri State Auditor candidates had their debate in here today as well. Reporting live in Lake Ozark, Lacey Reeves, KOMU8 News.
Okay, thanks, Lacey. Parents of a child with disabilities say their son was injured at his elementary school, and it wouldn't have happened if he had more opportunities to play. KOMU8's Reagan DeTrolio joins us in the studio after taking a look at the ADA opportunities within Columbia Public Schools. Reagan.
There's no visible ADA playground here at Derby Ridge Elementary, but CPS says it's gradually improving playgrounds throughout the district, and Derby Ridge Elementary does have an accessible outdoor area. However, one family of a child with disabilities wants more.
Did you play?
That's Cameron Verdeen. He's 6 years old and is a student in the RISE classroom at Derby Ridge Elementary School. That's a placement-based classroom for children with disabilities, according to CPS.
He is a beautiful little boy. He's adorable, he's smart in his own way, and he loves to play.
But Cameron can't play on the main playground here. He's in a wheelchair and still learning to walk. His parents say after Cameron's aide walked away to help another student last week,
he fell over and scraped himself up pretty badly. And I was told that since they have no equipment no ADA equipment there, they just kind of park him. They park him and he gets to sit there at recess most days and watch other kids play.
Cameron's accident happened on an uneven sidewalk. The district says that's been fixed, but his parents say that's not enough.
If he had something to occupy himself with, to play with, maybe he wouldn't be so inclined to just try and go find something to do.
Kevin and Kelsey Verdeen have contacted various school officials and the new principal to get more ADA accessible equipment.
He tells us that, 3 years minimum before new playground equipment shows up. And so my son is going to sit on the playground for 3 years watching other kids play.
A CPS spokesperson says the district does have an outdoor ADA compliant area that's away from the other playground, and the district is working to build new accessible playgrounds at schools, but it takes time. Kelsey says she brainstormed ideas with teachers.
Could not believe that in 2022 we would have a special needs classroom in a school that has no special needs equipment outside.
Cameron's mom, Kelsey, says she's also brainstormed ideas with teachers so Cameron can play at recess. She says they've talked about using bubbles and chalk, and she says the school does does have an adaptive swing Cameron can use occasionally. CPS is working on an overall plan to make ADA improvements at playgrounds across the district and using bond funds approved by voters to do that. Derby Ridge is on that list for future improvements. In the studio, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, KOMU 8 News.
We have an update to a story we've been following since May. The man who called in a bomb threat to a Columbia daycare pleaded guilty today to multiple charges. 25-year-old Alexander Green appeared in court today and entered his guilty plea. He was sentenced to 90 days, but he was released from jail today since he served 90 days since the incident. You may remember Green threatened the KinderCare Child Center on West Ash Street in Columbia on May 17th. Court documents say Green called the daycare and said he put a bomb in the building to kill someone. Green's trial was set to start next week.
The sun's getting lower in the sky and our temperatures are getting a little bit lower too. We're in the kind of low 80s all of us right now, but we're going to keep cooling down. We're not going to cool down though as much as we have in the past week though. Tomorrow morning isn't really going to feel too much like fall, with some of us only getting into those lower 70s. Around 68 is going to be the lowest temperature that we're going to see tonight before warming up tomorrow. At noon, we're already at 85 degrees and we're pushing to go into those upper 80s for the highs tomorrow across mid-Missouri. We're seeing almost nearing at 90 degrees near Columbia, and that's pretty much going to be the story for the next few days ahead, is right around 90 degrees, and that's only going to increase as we go along this week. Another quick look at what's looking like some possible rain coming in Saturday afternoon. I'll have more details on that coming up.
Thanks, Emmy. A veteran whose home was damaged in the 2019 Jefferson City tornado is getting a new house. River City Habitat for Humanity and Veterans United are making it happen. This is the first ever veterans build through Habitat for Humanity. The previous house was demolished a few weeks ago. Veteran Dwight Days was able to pick out colors and features he wanted in his new house. The executive director for Habitat for Humanity says the group stepped in to help get Days back on his feet.
For the most part, we just, or as an organization, believe that everybody deserves a decent place to live, and he struggled so much with trying to rebuild, and it just fits right up our alley of rebuilding after the tornado.
River City Habitat also has built 8 other houses in the area. Cook Williams says she expects the house to be done at the latest by springtime. It's Friday Night Fever, and our game of the week sees the Battle Spartans traveling on the road to face the Hickman Cupies. That's where we find KOMU 8 Sports Director Ben Arnett. Ben, we're getting excited about this Columbia rivalry tonight.
We are fired up for this game. It's one of 17 games we're going to cover tonight all across mid-Missouri. We'll have those highlights tonight on Friday Night Fever, KOMU 8 News at 10. Here at Hickman High School, it's a KOMU crosstown rivalry. The Hickman Cupies and the Battle Spartans, each team looking for their first win on the season. So somebody's going to walk away happy here tonight as they get going at about 7 o'clock. Coming up later on KOMU 8 News at 6, despite a rough start to the season, you'll see plenty of smiles here at Alumni Stadium on Cupie fans. We'll tell you the origin of their ultra-positive Twitter hashtag #SmileOn. We'll also go one-on-one with Hickman head coach Cedric Albus as his team tries to get back on track this season. And coming up next, we'll have a live interview with Hickman linebacker Elijah Morton. And coming up next, Emmy's going to tell us if any of the clouds that we see out here might produce some rain at the game you're headed to this evening across mid-Missouri. That's all coming up on KOMU 8 News at 6.
Well, Ben, I don't think those clouds are going to produce too much rain, but I'll have some more details on that and the rest of your days coming up after the break.
Welcome back. KOMU 8 is covering 17 games across mid-Missouri tonight. Our game of the week is the Battle Spartans facing off against the Hickman Cupies. Let's go out to Ben for another update.
This is a big rivalry. Battle's been around 10 years now, and ever since they started their football team, Hickman and Battle has been a big game. We are joined by Hickman junior linebacker Elijah Morton. Elijah, we were just talking off camera a little bit. I know you probably don't want to pick, but if you could, what's the bigger game now? Is it Hickman Rockbridge or is it Hickman Battle?
I have to go with Rockbridge, probably.
That's got the history behind it, right?
That's been going since the 50s?
No, the 70s, not quite that far.
That's my bad.
Close, but a little bit longer than 7 or 8 years. This team is so positive. I know it's been a bit of a rough start to the season trying to get your first win here tonight, but how have you guys remained positive as you kept getting better?
Smile on. CA says it a lot. and that's just what we do. So we all like practice and stuff, smile on, play hard, play physical.
CA is your head coach, Cedric Alvis, and he played here. How often does he tell you about the times he played here and like use his experience as a player to coach you guys and teach you?
We always talked about how he won like back in '04, I think. So we talked about like how close they were as a team, and like how that's what you need to be successful.
And Hickman trying to get back to those championship days. What's the key tonight? You got your linebacker, your leader on defense. What are the keys to a victory tonight for the defense to play well?
The same keys to every game. Now what you got to pull through.
All right, good luck. Good to talk to you, Elijah.
Thank you.
That's Hickman junior linebacker Elijah Morton. We'll have more live here from Hickman in just a bit on KOMU 8 News at 6.
If you're like Ben and planning on spending some time outside tonight, you might get rained on for maybe just a minute or two, but other than that, looking dry. I'll talk more about the week ahead coming up after the break.
Week 4 of Friday Night Fever is here. Let's take you back out to the Hickman game for our game of the week. That's where we can find KOMU 8's Ben Arnett and Haley McCormick. Ben, Haley, we're starting to get close to kickoff.
We are live on the loop. It is Hickman and Battle, a crosstown showdown. And Haley, both these teams still looking for their first win on the season going into this game here tonight. But Hickman still has plenty of positivity, don't they?
They are looking to pick up their first win of the season. It's not the start of the season they were hoping for, but there are still plenty of smiles around Alumni Stadium. Smile On, a hashtag and saying that is constantly being used by Coach Alvis and the Hickman football team. But what is the meaning behind it?
So we're the Cupies. We're the only Cupie in the nation, right? That baby doll has a smile no matter what. So when we say smile on, it's just embracing what we are, embracing who we are. And no matter what happens, adversity, bad things happen, we smile through it.
The saying and the hashtag started back in March.
I went to a clinic and got some good information about how to embrace and how to kind of change culture. And so that was one thing that we took away from it.
It's said frequently to keep a positive atmosphere during the grind of football season and in everyday life.
You're always going to have bad plays in football. It's just about being able to get through them and being able to smile on at the end of it.
It's the rivalry across town, and Hickman has been putting in the work to pick up a Friday night win.
I feel like this whole week we've been going harder, and we're prepared for battle, and we want to show why we're the best team between the two.
Quarterback Carter Holiday is coming off a 3-touchdown pass game from last Friday and is ready to compete for the win.
Just consistently score like last week. I had a pretty good game. If I can just repeat that again and do even more, I think we'll be all right.
Coach Alvis says they've got to focus on the fundamentals.
We got to play solid football, got to be disciplined, got to execute, can't beat ourselves.
And of course,
smile on.
You know, Haley, as you can tell there, the positivity wouldn't spread if the players hadn't bought in, but they have.
Yeah, I went around at practice and I talked to every single coach and player, well, not all of them, but most of them, and a lot of them all knew exactly what Smile On meant, and they're all locked in.
All right, we will have more here live from Alumni Stadium in just a moment, one-on-one with Hickman head coach Cedric Alvis in just a bit. For now, let's go back to the studio, and Emmy's going to tell us if everyone's going to stay dry at their games tonight.
Well, Ben's outside right now, and you saw we're kind of getting that sunshine going lower and lower in the sky. We're sitting around that kind of 81 or so degrees right now. There's a couple of spotted showers moving through the state, so if you do get some rain, it'll only be for a couple minutes. Definitely not anything to delay the game. Might just wet the stadium a little bit. Now, I want to kind of look at our Friday Night Fever forecast in detail. We're looking around 7 p.m. kickoffs coming up. We're seeing around 83 degrees, and then as that sun goes down, we're going to drop below that 80-degree mark, hitting into those upper 70s. Again, we're not really looking at a lot of precipitation tonight. If you're headed out for Friday Night Fever, wherever you are across the state, just maybe a couple minutes of some rainfall. Make sure to tune in at 10 for some more highlights from that game and from games around mid-Missouri. Now, temperature-wise for tomorrow, after we're going to have these like maybe little spotted showers coming through tonight, tomorrow's going to be a little bit more dry. We're going to see highs around 86 up north, a little bit cooler as we're going to see we're dropping down into those more upper 80s as we move south across the state. Some of us may be getting to that 89, almost 90-degree range for Saturday. And you know, Saturday, it's game day for Mizzou as well. It's Friday Night Fever night, big football weekend. We're seeing tailgates starting around 7 a.m. It's going to start out the morning on a bit of a warmer note. We're seeing around 66 degrees. And then by kickoff, we're at 80 degrees. It's going to be hot. Don't forget the sunscreen if you're headed out. It's going to be a hot day tomorrow because we're looking at that post game around 3 p.m. 90 degrees. It's been a while since we've seen 90 degrees back on the forecast, and we're sure going to be feeling warm and toasty tomorrow and for the next couple days ahead. Now, aside from that little bit of some spotted showers heading in tonight, we're seeing a little bit of some kind of isolated showers Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see Saturday morning just a little bit. Most of that day should stay pretty dry before Sunday morning. We'll see a little bit more, maybe might hear a few rumbles of thunder Saturday night into Sunday. Most of Sunday actually during the day should be dry in that afternoon area. And then looking into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back into that bone dry air that we normally have been experiencing for a while. But what's a little different from normal is our temperatures. We're seeing those up into the lower 90s to start out next week. We're seeing those overnight lows in the 70s. You know, fall's just around the corner, but it sure is still going to be feeling like summer for the next couple days ahead. Tonight, though, we're seeing around 66 degrees, partly cloudy. We'll have decreasing cloud cover overnight, but since we've got some clouds, it's keeping that overnight low pretty much on the warmer side. It's going to be more like a blanket keeping our temperatures warm and helping us start tomorrow on a little bit of a warmer note and a humid note as well. If you're headed out early tomorrow for that Mizzou game, it's going to be pretty humid and sticky. Clouds will increase as the day goes on, specifically in the evening. That's when we're looking for some rain chances headed our way again, though. Just some isolated showers, not really looking at a big soak or anything like that. After those rain chances will disappear heading into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those temperatures are rising. Hopefully we'll get that cold front coming in Wednesday night to kind of knock those temperatures down Thursday for that first day of fall. Now for your Weather IQ, sponsored by Break Time. Official wind measurements are taken at a height of what? Is it 13, 22, or 33 feet?
I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say 33 feet.
Raina, you got it.
Yes! Perfect. Well, KOMU 8 News will be right back after this.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Live here, it's our Friday Night Fever game of the week. Hickman and Battle, joined by Hickman head coach Cedric Alvis. And coach, man, look, I'm done with the debate. I don't know which rivalry is bigger, but we know this is a big game tonight, right? I mean, your guys 100%. Are fired up.
Yes, definitely. It's a huge game for us, for the community, for everyone in CPS. This is awesome.
We got a few baby dolls and sippy cups for the Battle students. They're ready to come at you, aren't they?
Yes, they're always ready.
We just learned about Smile On. How have you kept the positivity up even as you're still looking for your first win here tonight?
I mean, that's what it means, Smile On. So we're embracing what we are as a QP. We're the only one. There's no other QP. And the QP doll always has a smile. So that's what we talk about. No matter what happens, the adversity, we embrace who we are. We smile through it.
Talk to your starting quarterback, Carter Holiday, in our 5 o'clock show. You started him as a freshman. How'd you come to that decision? Because that didn't happen very often.
He's a special kid. He's really unique. He's a playmaker, and he's wise beyond his years. And so when you look at what he does on the field, how he carries himself off the field, it was really an easy decision.
Real quick, keys to victory for you tonight.
Hold on to the football. Got to stop Ricky Dunn. And can't give up big plays.
All right. Best of luck, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Head Coach Cedric Alvis as Hickman QPs take on the Battle Spartans tonight at 7. One of 17 games we're going to have highlights of. Back to wrap things up here on KOMU 8 News at 6 after this.
We're just minutes away from kickoffs across Missouri. Let's go to Ben for one last check-in before those games start.
Yes, we are back live here on the Loop. It is Hickman, it is Battle, it is a crosstown showdown. One of 17 games. We'll have highlights tonight on KOMU 8 News at 10 o'clock. We're going to get all the way around the region. It's going to be awesome. Once again, 17 games coming up tonight at 10, including this one as we close it down here at 6. I think a FNF record for most cheerleaders, Hickman and Battle, and some middle school kids.